Good day and welcome to Panorama on NTA, the largest television network in Africa, broadcasting live from the Maiduguri Zonal Center. Today, we are focusing on critical issues surrounding the Ramadan fast, which the Muslim Ummah across the globe have commenced in earnest. Ramadan is the 9th month in the Islamic calendar where Muslims all over the world fast from dawn to dusk, being one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Muslims believe that Ramadan teaches self-discipline, self-control, sacrifice, and empathy for those who are less fortunate. Although popularly seen as abstaining from food and drink, Muslims also abstain from all sexual activities and vulgar behavior during fasting. Foods and drinks are metaphors for worldly needs and desires, and thus abstinence from them is meant to elevate the spirit. The act of fasting also carries health benefits. Some of the special practices that are expected during Ramadan include eating a special pre-dawn meal called suhoor before starting the daily fast, and then eating another post-sunset meal called iftar to break the fast. During Ramadan, Muslims also take part in extra acts of worship, the most visible of which are the late-night Taraweeh prayers and the practice of itikaf, form of spiritual retreat inside a mosque. Also, towards the end of Ramadan, Muslims make a special charitable donation called Zakat al-Fitr, which goes to the less fortunate so that they may also enjoy the festival of Eid al-Fitr at the end of Ramadan. Today's discussion will focus on ways the Muslim Ummah shall explore the maximum benefits of the holy month, how the well-to-do individuals assist the less privileged during the holy month, as well as critical role dealers and traders of essential commodities are expected to make towards making the fast easier. These are some of the key issues we'll highlight in our discussion segment. Stay tuned with us on Panorama. I am Abubakar Musa, and thanks for joining us on this episode of Panorama, coming to you live. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, admonishes Islamic faithful to keep the nation in prayers for peace and prosperity as they embark on the holy month of fasting and prayers. In her message, felicitating with Muslims on the commencement of the blessed month of Ramadan, the First Lady prays that the month brings them peace, joy, and spiritual fulfillment, while urging them to extend love and kindness to their neighbors, especially those in need during this season. She prays that Almighty Allah accepts all their supplications and answers all their prayers. Similarly, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, urges Nigerian Muslims to pray for the country and its leaders as the Ramadan fast commences. Speaker Abbas says Nigeria's unity is paramount, which is why adherents of all religions must continue to offer sincere prayers for the country. While noting that Nigeria needs divine intervention, the Speaker specifically calls for prayers and support for President Bola Tinubu, urging Nigerians to continue to believe in the renewed hope agenda of the administration. Gombe State government has flagged off distribution of over 30,000 bags of rice besides other food items as Ramadan palliative to give succor, especially to the less privileged. Emmanuel Akila will now tell us more.
The month of Ramadan is here again, the season when Muslims engage in high level of spiritual activities, including the 30 or 29 days Ramadan fast, recitation of the glorious Quran, prayers in worship places, and preachings. The palliative, the government says, is not only for the Muslims engaged in the Ramadan fast, but for all who deserve them.
If you look at the distribution chart, it's fairly distributed across the 11 local government, depending on the population, and then all poor and vulnerable are expected to benefit from this exercise.
Not only the members of the NI, but the general public. So these items are going to be given to those we think the items will benefit them more.
this palliative is coming at the right time, going to help people with disabilities in Gombe State.
The government had set up a committee to ensure equitable distribution of the palliatives across the 11 local government areas of the state. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
Have to do with this year's Ramadan fast. For now, to tell you that the federal government has flagged off the 80 billion naira reconstruction and upgrade of Alo Dam project in Borno State with a commitment to ensuring timely completion. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Telumun Utsev, performed the inauguration at a ceremony attended by Borno State Governor Babagana Umar Zulum and Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar Kyari, among other dignitaries. Mohammed Goni was there for us.
Alo Dam, which was constructed in 1986 to provide water for domestic and industrial needs as well as agricultural purposes, collapsed in September 2024, resulting to loss of lives and property within Maiduguri and Jere local government areas. As part of proactive response, the federal government set up a technical assessment team to assess the integrity of all dams across the country, which recommended the immediate reconstruction of Alo Dam, hence the approval of the 80 billion naira.
With the reconstruction of this dam, our aim is not only for the supply of domestic water, flood control, they also encompass the irrigation component. And that is the reason for which we are here today.
This project signifies not just the repair of the physical structure, but the revitalization of hope and prosperity for our people. The Ola Dam has suffered from lack of regular maintenance for time, exacerbated by the security challenges we have faced.
Suggest to my brother to also think of irrigation for agriculture, because I think there's another essence of land.
Sustained legislative oversight to ensure that representative of the contracting firm assured of adherence to specifications and timely completion of the project. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
The federal government has announced its decision to target illegal and corrupt cooperative societies in the country. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security stated the government plans to implement significant reforms in the regulation of cooperative societies. Musa Baba Aliyu completes the story.
Records indicate that as of 2023, there were 30 million Nigerians belonging to different cooperative societies. The societies have been playing a significant role in micro and small businesses in the country, contributing more than 300 million naira to the economy annually. Managing and regulating the cooperatives is under the purview of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Ali Sabi Abdullahi, was at the Federal Cooperative College in Kaduna to address managers and trustees of various societies in the country.
We aim to bring innovation by first innovating, revitalizing the sector to restore confidence in the masses and bring back the glory of the cooperative movement as a force to reckon with in the socio-economic development of Nigeria.
He decried cases of fraud and manipulation of members by some organizations.
Many of you are aware that there are fake cooperative societies who scam our citizens in the guise of providing cooperative service. We definitely are taking it very seriously. Indeed, the days of fake cooperative societies is gone, and we are taking measures to bring sanity into the cooperative ecosystem.
The minister noted that the reform will refocus on review and amendment of the Nigerian Cooperative Act to bring it up to date with global best practices and local realities. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Let us at this point take a break. Panorama returns in just a moment. we're glad to have you back. The Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, has extended humanitarian support to people living with disabilities and other vulnerable groups in Maiduguri. Fatima Isa was there for NTA News.
As part of its ongoing commitment to supporting communities affected by conflict in the Northeast, the NEDC has distributed essential relief materials to ease the suffering of vulnerable groups and improve their living condition, especially during the month of Ramadan. More than 250 food and non-food items were provided to beneficiaries, including people with disabilities, vulnerable women and children, among the most affected by the humanitarian crisis in the region. The distribution exercise held in Maiduguri was overseen by the state coordinator of the NEDC, who presented essential supplies to those in need.
Last year, what we did was to get some few numbers, but this time around we expand our horizon of need assessment and we get more beneficiaries, and today they are here benefiting from this Ramadan gesture.
To go a long way to supplement the government effort that they are really doing. Keeping or maintaining people living with disability needs a wider range, and whatever the government is doing, they are doing their best, and the coming in of Northeast Development Commission intervention is a plus.
Items distributed include 25 kg bags of rice, cartons of spaghetti, gallons of vegetable oil, blankets, wrappers, and other relief materials. With this initiative, the NEDC continues to play a crucial role in alleviating hardships and ensuring that vulnerable groups in Maiduguri and beyond receive necessary support to improve their well-being. In Maiduguri, Fatima Isa, NTA News.
Scholars have advocated for improving charity and kindness as Muslims the world over commence month-long Ramadan fast. The Islamic scholars also stressed the importance of reaching out to vulnerable communities during the sacred month. Umar Jimbarima has more on the story.
The Ramadan month is full of blessings and forgiveness, while its first 10 days are called Allah's mercy, where Muslim faithful are encouraged to keep on seeking for forgiveness. Islamic scholars disclose the enormous bounties attached to the first 10 days of Ramadan and urge Muslims to keep on reaching out to each other, particularly those in need.
The first 10 days is full of blessings, and all the blessings are within the context of these 10 days. So Muslims are expected to start repentance, seeking forgiveness of Allah, reciting a lot of parts of the Quran, if not complete, and you give sadaqah, and then you keep in touch with people.
In Borno State, Governor Babagana Umar Zulum launched the Ramadan food distribution program with commitment to supporting farmers and vulnerable citizens, ensuring that no one is left behind during this period of fasting.
The perseverance of our people have reinforced my belief that agriculture is not just a means of survival. It is a powerful tool for economic empowerment. As a result, the state government is committed to creating an enabling environment for our youth and entrepreneurs to engage in agribusiness and other productive ventures.
In a parallel effort, members representing Mongunu, Marti, and Ganze Federal Constituency joined the queue in supporting members of his constituency during this fasting period. Research has shown that the health of a fasting person is also increased in the holy month of Ramadan. As Ramadan enters its first lap, Muslims are expected to avoid any prohibited behavior and work towards improving their good deeds. In Maiduguri, Umar Jimbarima, NTA News.
Muslim faithful have already commenced the Ramadan fast with a devotion to maximize the bounties and reward in the holy month as stipulated in the Quran and traditions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. As we delve into the key issues in the Ramadan fast, we are honored to have with us a distinguished guest, Sheikh Ahmad Abdul Qadir, who joins us now to shed light on these key issues. Sir, it's actually a pleasure to have you on Panorama today, and Ramadan Mubarak to you and to everybody out there. Now, Sheikh, how does the Muslim Ummah explore the maximum benefits of the holy month of Ramadan?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, may peace and blessing of Allah be upon His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In fact, before we discuss on how Muslims explore the benefit of Ramadan, from the definition given to what fasting in Ramadan. Ramadan, it has a literal and a technical meaning. The literal meaning consists just to mood, that you should keep quiet, you should not talk. It's also called a fast. In Quran chapter 19, verse 26, Surah Maryam, when the agent Jibril blew a spirit into her womb, when she came with her baby to the society, if you were asked, how do you get married? You have not get married. Then Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, gave them an answer. The Maryam answer was that, Inni nazartu lirahmani sawma. I kept mute for the sake of God. I cannot talk to anyone. If anybody asks you, talk, explain how, just keep mute. Then Jesus himself, the Isa, gave them an answer. So to keep mute is also what we call fasting. So, but Ramadan, the technical meaning of Ramadan is to abstain from eating, drinking, sexual intercourse, and any way that which a food will be penetrated into your intestine from the dawn until the sun sets. This is technical meaning of what fasting is all about. Therefore, for them to explore the significance of this Ramadan, Ramadan is a spiritual renewal for every Muslim. Self-discipline, charity, and conduct, and kindness toward humanity. That's all. That is the concept behind Ramadan is all about. Therefore, for them to display their spiritual renewal, the more you fast, the more your spirit, your faith will be increased, and you become so kind to the mankind, and self-discipline and charity. That is to assist one another. Because the scholars say the concept behind fasting is to reminder for those well-to-do persons in the society, those who cannot experience, hunger in their life. During our school day, we have what we call 011 during 80s.
From primary school days, primary or secondary school days?
Secondary school.
All right, go ahead. Okay, go ahead, Sheikh.
Talking about.
All right.
So there are some people, even before they wake up, their breakfast is ready on the table. Their lunch is there. Their dinner is there. They don't
endure hunger.
But Ramadan will serve as a reminder for the well-to-do fast to extend their gratitude and assistance to the less privileged people in the society. So this is all about the concept of Ramadan, apart from the spiritual renewal.
Okay. Yeah. You've actually answered our second question that's talking about how the well-to-do individuals are expected to assist the less privileged ones. But can you elaborate further on that?
Yeah,
how are they expected? Because this is the right time for them to do it.
As I said earlier, the fasting is served as a reminder to the well-to-do person in the society and the spiritual renewal. During the life period of the Holy Prophet, a fasting was not prescribed upon the Muslims during the early Islam, unless after migration of the Prophet from Mecca to Medina, a second year. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu kutiba alaykum siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum. All you believe. Fasting is prescribed upon you as it was prescribed for those before you. At the second year, when their faith has been fulfilled, their spiritual, faith has been increased, so a fasting was then prescribed. And it consists of a series of lessons. One, it will serve as a reminder to extend the gratitude and assistance to the vulnerable and less privileged members of the society. This is one of the most important concepts. And two, the more you fast, the more you come closer to God. The more you fast, the more you come closer to God. All acts of ibadah, the worship that Muslims do observe, there is no a sort of ibadah, that is worship, that God has prescribed as belongs to with the exception of fasting. In one of the authentic traditions of the Holy Prophet, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "As-sawmu li wa ana ajiz bi." God said, "Fast belong to me. All acts of ibadah, that worship, belong to the fasting, with the exception of fasting. Is for me, And
right.
I am the one to reward him.
Oh, okay, sorry, Sheikh Ahmed Abdul Qadir. We just have to leave this response here for now to talk about, other critical issues. Now, one major concern raised by Islamic clerics in our contemporary society is the obsession with phones, especially among, young believers. So, what advice do you have for, these young believers in this month of Ramadan?
In fact, really, our young believers, most of them, they have become addicted to their cell phones. Moving to Facebook, to Instagram, to this movie, and so wasting their time. It has become a toxic to the society. Fasting does not only consist of abstaining from eating, drinking, and having sexual intercourse with your wife. So also your hands, your eyes, your foot, every part of your body has to observe the fasting.
That is to say they should use their phones, in a positive way. Is that what you're trying to say?
Because no, they are using it in a negative way. In a negative way, in the sense that they have been watching movies, footballs, moving from one channel to another, wasting their time.
Devoting too much of their time to that.
To concentrate on the Holy Quran. One of the great scholars was saying that during our era, the companion, our predecessors, the companions of the Prophet, they concentrate on the Quran as we today concentrate on our cell phones.